Today we're talking about the Great Migration and what your history teachers probably didn't teach you. Quick refresher, the Great Migration was the diaspora of African Americans out of the South between 1910 and 1945-ish. You probably learned that the Great Migration was the result of Black Americans moving into the industrial North in search of better economic opportunity. And that's a part of the story, but it's not the whole story. Many Black Americans were fleeing the South to escape racial violence and terrorism, especially after the resurgence of the KKK following World War I. Now, if you had a semi-knowledgeable teacher, this has all been reviewed so far. But what isn't frequently discussed is the reaction of white Southerners to the Great Migration. The initial response of white Southerners was more or less, "Good, go away, we're racist." But gradually they started to realize something. Even after emancipation, the Southern economy was largely built on free black labor in the forms of sharecropping, debt peonage, and the convict leasing system. And as black folks left the South, the Southern economy lost access to all that free labor. So Southern newspapers started publishing misinformation claiming that Black Americans faced greater violence and lower wages in the North. Black Americans were denied access to buses and trains, and such modes of transportation were frequently stopped throughout the South to pull black folks off of them before they could leave Southern states. And par for the course, violence, intimidation, terrorism, and incarceration were frequently used to frighten or force Black Americans to stay in the South. The Great Migration demonstrates one of the most glaring contradictions of American racism. White supremacy claims that black people are inferior, and yet it has never been able to survive without the minds, bodies, brilliance, and labor of black people.